Today, I will be doing a deep dive of the mural Clubhouse City by Jose Dominguez. Before going into the mural, its meaning, and its context, let's look at who this artist is and what he's done leading up to this. Jose Dominguez is a mixed media artist who was born in Arizona but grew up in the Midwest in Colorado, Wyoming, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Growing up Hispanic in the Midwest, Jose described feelings of being an outsider or being stuck in between, which shaped some of his early work. He said, "I celebrated my ancestry while also acknowledging feeling like an outsider to it. I never really felt like I was part of any group, just stuck in between. I haven't solved any issues of identity, but I do go about it differently nowadays. I used to almost feel obligated to make this type of work and worry that I wasn't the one to represent any group of people, and also worry that I would be pigeonholed as an artist." As Jose's career progressed, his art took up a more whimsical, sketchbook-based approach. For example, this piece is called Out of Touch with Much, which displayed in a co-exhibition called Weirdly Positive, Positively Weird. He said, "I love making work that is left open-ended and incomplete." When asked about his artistic influences, Jose said, "Some of my biggest inspiration and influences these past couple of years have been the illustrators behind children's books and cartoons like Pink Panther and Looney Tunes. I'm also inspired by the colors and process behind risograph and screen printing. Rather than working with those mediums and using those tools, I find myself referencing or mimicking the flat, bold colors and sometimes slightly offset layers." A lot of Jose's art is like something out of a sketchbook. I think this is really telling of who he is because as someone who grew up feeling like an outsider or stuck in between, Jose used art and sketches to escape from the world around him. He was a very introverted person, and his art reflects that balance between himself, the people around him, and the world around him. He even had a whole exhibit titled The Art of Avoiding People, which highlights the complex thoughts that go through introverts' minds all the time. Clubhouse City is Jose Dominguez's mural in the Chroma Zone district in St. Paul, Minnesota. This mural is a great example of him being inspired by cartoons. It uses bright, fun colors to depict a happy scene of his characters living in their own little city. His painting style combines color blocking and simple patterns to create a pretty yet easygoing image. This can be seen especially in the kitty's house and in the big bird's house. One of Jose's goals with this mural was to use everyday objects as the homes for his characters. For the kitty, he used a little barn with a flower garden in front, and for the big bird, he used a milk carton with a rainbow as a doormat. You can also see in the bottom corner a cassette tape used as the handle of a saw, which you could think the animals used to build their homes. The lack of shading and blended colors was likely done on purpose to give the mural a sketchbook feel like he does with a lot of his other work. At surface level, this work doesn't seem to have too much to be interpreted. It's a bright and colorful cartoon used to liven up the city. After learning more about Jose's history, however, I think there is a reason Jose chose the houses he did for the animals. To me, the cat living in the nice barn resembles a child growing up in a nice big house in a wealthy family. The big bird living in the milk carton resembles a child growing up in a smaller, more run-down house in a poor family. Even though these two kids likely had different experiences due to their family's wealth status, they still had shared experiences that they could relate to each other with. For example, maybe they watched the same cartoons growing up, went to the same schools, or played the same sports. Similarly, Jose felt that he didn't fit in with the Hispanic community or the white community, but he still shared those experiences that every kid has, regardless of race or status. It also shows that our race or status doesn't have to separate us. We can all live together in a happy and peaceful community. I think the context of Clubhouse City in the world of street art is similar to one of Jose's other exhibits, It's Okay to Laugh, located in the Skyways of Minneapolis. Part of creating bright and fun work is to be the comic relief during tough times. Its job is to lighten our moods in a time when there's a lot of negative things that can bring us down. Jose was asked to describe his work in the context of the pandemic and George Floyd's murder, which were both very present when It's Okay to Laugh was installed. He responded, "I believe this bright and playful installation still holds purpose in bringing joy and healing to viewers. Although this tragedy has reminded us of the important work we need to do and the pandemic has created uncertain times, it's natural to have moments where you laugh out loud, even if it seems out of place." So, amidst the murals depicting Black Lives Matter and other social justice issues in the cities, Jose's mural reminds us to take a breath, lift some weight off of our shoulders, and enjoy the positive things in the world around us. By allowing for these moments of joy, we can recharge and be in a better place to continue our fight for justice. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed Clubhouse City as much as I did.